It's time for another edition of Live from Studio M on 105.5 Triple M. I'm your host, Jonathan Sutton. Today we welcome back an artist in a true sense of the word. He's been making music for more than 20 years. His tunes can be joyous, melancholy, and hysterical, and that's all within the same song. We'll talk to him about his music and what he had in common with Les Paul and still has in common with Woody Allen. But first, let's hear a song from Bob Schneider, live from Studio M.
Some in the shadows of the words that were spoken in the middle of the night. My heart's got broken. I hadn't felt it before outside the sea, and the sky above outside of me. But the way the stars over your house shine, it makes me think that everything's gonna be just fine. And the way that true love is blind and can't be reasoned with, I'm gonna take that as a good sign, good sign. Looking out over the new day dawn, and I couldn't see nothing but trouble. Like the light from the North Star, so bright, so far away. Just like the light that shines in your eyes when we're dancing in the dark at the end of the day. And the way that the stars over your house shine, it makes me think that everything's gonna be just fine. And the way that true love is blind and can't be reasoned with, I'm gonna take that as a good sign, good sign. And we wound up talking, I ended up walking into your house. I don't remember what we talked about, but it seemed to me at the time I like the words were coming out your mouth. But so you reached your red lips singing that song that we played on the night that I met you. I knew right then and there I'd never forget you. And the way that the stars over your house shine, it makes me think that everything's gonna be just fine. And the way that true love is blind and can't be reasoned with, I'm gonna take that as a good sign, good sign. Oh, oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, oh.
Bob Schneider live from Studio M, and we'll chat with him next here at 105.5 Triple M. I'm going to insert the commercials. Any products you want to endorse?
Chantix? I don't even know what that does. Actually.
They did not want to.
What does that do?
Some people kill themselves on chance.
Oh, they just...
Totally classic. We're back live from Studio M on 105.5 Triple M. Our guest today is Bob Schneider, and lots of things to cover, but we'll talk about the first song that you just did and the new album. You're kind of releasing it, you're teasing us, aren't you, with the way you're releasing the music? This King Kong?
Well, usually when you... There's a couple thoughts behind it. The first is, I think people don't have a lot of time. I know I don't. If I get a new album, I'm not going to listen to the whole thing in one sitting. So we figured if we put out 5 songs at a time, maybe people will actually listen to the whole thing over the course of the 3 releases.
It's like a Twitter world, right? You make
Yeah,
the songs
it's
140 characters each.
Well, there's just there's so much stuff that people are being bombarded with. We figured 5 songs is maybe plenty.
Is the way to go.
Yeah.
I'm kind of already
At a
checked
time.
out this interview. All right, you're right.
Yeah.
I gotta go see. Now, you used to write. I remember reading where you would be writing constantly, 150 songs a year, or writing a song every day. Do you still have that spark, or not so much?
Well, I don't write. I force myself to write a song a week, so I write at least 50 songs a year. But yeah, I used to write anywhere from 150 to 300 songs a year. But yeah, it's I've got a new baby, and that takes up a lot of time.
Yeah.
I'm recently remarried, and I don't have as much time as I used to have.
So then, if like the baby, how old's your baby?
Zero.
Okay, so you're not sleeping.
Not very
Not
much.
that much,
No.
yeah.
No.
So then if it's like the deadline is coming up for writing the song for the week, do you just kind of like crank out, my baby is crying? Like, do you, I mean, is it a
Oh, yeah.
quality song every time?
Well, you know, even the quality songs that, you know, like the best songs that I've ever written and the best songs that you'll ever hear were probably written over the course of an hour or two. They just come really quickly, usually the good ones.
Really?
They don't take very long. It's the crappy ones that take a long time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So is it a boy or girl? What do you have?
That's a girl. I have a 10-year-old boy and now a 0-year-old girl.
So is she inspiring?
She is. I'll play a song I wrote for her a couple months ago when she was born.
Okay, great. What's it
You're
called?
like, no, please, God,
Get to sleep.
don't play your crappy song about your child. That sounds
No,
wrong.
I'm sure it's very sweet. Okay, no, we want to hear it. What's it called?
It's called Easy.
Bob Schneider live from Studio One.
Where you are, that's where I'll be. Upside down or in a tree. Out in front or far behind. With you wherever's fun. It's always been a scary thing to do, to let my heart fall down into the endless blue. Oh, but it's easy, easy, easy to do. Oh, it's easy with you. Mountaintop of valley blue, Chatterbox a real sharp shoe. Blown away or blown apart, we'll always get back to the heart. Deep in the woods, underneath the big black trees. If you are there and lost, that is lost where I will be. And it'll be easy, easy, easy to do. It'll be easy with you. Where you are, that is where I will be. You will always be a part of me. I've never been a fan of fish, but your command will be my wish. And if you are, I'll pack my horn and throw it all overboard and sink down till I find you there with the seagrass growing in your hair. And it'll be easy, easy, easy to do. It'll be easy with you.
Bob Schneider live from Studio One. Screw you, man, because like I'm a little kid and like I can't sing. Like, how great is that when she's gonna be like 2 or 3 and you'll be like, Daddy wrote this. Don't you think she'll? I mean, that's awesome.
She's already like a real big fan of mine.
Really?
I love it.
But I mean, that's like great. Do you bring in the guitar to like sing to her? Or you don't even need to, probably.
I do. It really quiets her down. It's kind of weird because my son wasn't like that at all. He would, as soon as he was able to speak, he actually told me to stop playing.
Really?
Yeah, it was weird. But she seems to really enjoy it. So
Chicks dig guys with guitars.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
So, can we go back in time a little bit?
Sure.
going back to the things that people made up about you on the Wikipedia pages.
Oh, yeah.
Was your dad really an opera singer? Is that true?
He was, yeah, he's retired, but yeah, I grew up going to operas, watching him perform, which is not where you want to be when you're a little kid.
Right.
It's real boring.
Yeah, but did you know what was, like, did you understand it? I mean, did you have appreciation?
No, I don't think anybody understands what they're talking about. Like, even if they're singing in English, you can't make out what they're saying.
So, but did he encourage you then to be a musician, really, or?
Well, he taught me to play guitar and kind of forced me and my sister to perform for their friends at parties and stuff. And so I kind of did it my whole life.
Yeah.
But when I wanted to drop out of college and pursue it as a career, he was a little upset. But once he saw that I could actually make a living doing it, he's very supportive. Him and my mom both are very proud and happy that I'm doing what I'm doing.
Was this like a Great Santini thing, like he'd wake you up, you kids were like sleeping, and then come downstairs and perform?
Oh yeah,
right.
Exactly. Yeah,
right.
That's exactly.
So
what
you would
happened.
sing little songs or whatever?
Yeah, we row, row, row your boat, and when you're 4 and you do row, row, row your boat, people go crazy, and so I have this real sense that I'm really great at this, and it comes from that, performing when I was a little kid.
That's good. And I read a story that at one of these parties where you were washing dishes and singing and doing all the things and serving hors d'oeuvres, that then you also were drawing pictures of guests.
Yeah, that happened one time where my parents had a party and I drew like a picture of one of their guests, and then my dad kind of freaked out when he saw it because it was pretty good likeness, and was calling around to find out who did it, and then I finally fessed up to it, and he was real excited.
Yeah. Well, and you were like 6, is that?
Yeah, I was
okay.
6.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. So this doesn't work well for the people listening on the radio, but we put up on one of our screens some of the work that you're doing these days.
Yeah, I feel like I could have done that when I was 6 too. I never progressed.
So
I stopped getting better at 6.
I can't really. Could you describe it as like mixed media? How do you describe this?
It's
stuff?
collage. So
Okay.
it's a bunch of pictures cut up and pasted together.
Right.
It looks real easy, but that's just because I'm good.
Well, they're very interesting pictures. It's like people's faces, but the faces are actually a lot of very intricate, random things. So are you getting these from magazines, or where are you getting the pictures from?
Yeah, our magazines or books. I get a lot of bargain books from Barnes and Noble, or go to used bookstores and get old books and stuff.
And so is this kind of what you've always done, or did you used to draw more, or how did you get into
No,
this?
I just started doing this recently. I used to draw everything, and so a lot of the pictures that I used to do looked like that, but I would actually have drawn all the components, and it's real tedious and time consuming. And
Yeah, this isn't tedious. This seems insanely tedious.
No, this is real easy and fun. That's why I've been doing it, actually.
Okay, so like in the corner, again, sorry, radio audience, but we'll do our best we can. It's the Lone Ranger, I'm assuming, with laser beams coming out of his eyes or something?
Yeah, that's exactly what that is.
Right. So is there, like...
What if I would have said that's not what that is?
That would have been really weird. But so what, I mean, what is...
Things would have gotten real weird.
Yeah, but how do you, what was the inspiration? Does this start off with I was really high, or like what happened? No, really, like how did you come up with that? It's cool.
I mean, I don't know. It all, whenever you're doing anything like this at home, you're alone and you're doing it, and you really are questioning your sanity. It's like Richard Dreyfuss in Close Encounters of the Third Kind when he's building that thing in his living room. It feels exactly the same way. It's like, why? No, this is ridiculous. Why am I doing this? Nobody's going to appreciate this. But I find it something I am compelled to do. And then once I've done it, then I don't have to do it anymore.
Right. So, but you sell them, right? I'm assuming.
I do. It's unbelievably so. I do.
People buy them. So do you have shows where you like make up a story of why you did it? Because I feel like there should be more to it.
Well, that's part of the business, is you make up some crazy stories, and then people are like, oh, that sounds arty, and then they buy it. But I try not to do that either.
Okay. All right. Well, they are very cool. So
Thanks.
those listening on the radio, go online to look at the pictures. We're here for you to sing, probably. Do you want to do another?
Sure, yeah.
Another song. Okay.
Should I do it like an older song?
Does that sound good, everybody? He was kind of asking me like for requests, sort of, but not really. Do you have one you're ready to go with?
Okay.
All right, it's Bob Schneider live from studio.
If I get it out, if I spell it out, will you hear me if I tell you about what I have to say? Before it gets too late, it's not easy as I said it'd be, but there's something right about you and me, something right about you and me. You're the color of a birdie brook, you're the color of a sideways from an undercover cop in a comic book. The color of a stormy June, you're the color of the moon, you're the color of the night, that's right. Color of a fire, you move me. You're the color of the color part of the Wizard of Oz movie. We're like Romeo and Juliet, we're like 40 dogs and cigarettes, we're like good times that haven't yet, but will. I can tell you where we're gonna be when the whole world falls into the sea. We'll be living ever after happily. All them boys taking you for granted, tell you what they want with their eyes all slanted. I don't like the way they look at you, I don't like the way they talk to, I don't like the way they talk to you. No, we'll let them talk to you like that. Put them on fire, reach for the ceiling, tumble down the wall, damn it, I'm reeling. Ain't no crime, it's just dreams we're stealing. Anything to get more this feeling. You take the high, I'll take the low. We'll get there before you know it. Ain't got much time to waste, we got too much life to taste. We're like Romeo and Juliet, we're like 40 dogs and cigarettes, we're like good times that haven't yet, but will. Tell you where we're gonna be when the whole world falls into the sea. We'll be living ever after happily. Sometimes you remind me of a moonbeam, or the ghost of a moonbeam out on the beach down by the coast, just living through the night like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. So come out tonight, come out with me, baby. Throw the candle into the crazy, turn the sky black into a sky blue, turn a close shade into a woo-hoo. What I say is true. Make a fire, gotta burn a few, yeah. To make a fire, gotta burn a few. We can do what we wanna do, 'cause we're like Romeo and Juliet. We're like 40 dogs. Cigarettes, we're like good times that haven't yet, but will. I can tell you where we're gonna be when the whole world falls into the sea. We'll be living ever after happily.
Bob Schneider, live from Studio M. Isn't that tiring to do that song? There's a lot of words in
It is. But the good news is that's the hardest I work all day.
Were you cheating and looking at words there? How do you remember all the words to all your songs?
Well, I play them enough that eventually I commit them to memory. But all the new songs I usually have on this iPad. But no, I wasn't. I've played that song
So many times.
1,000 times. Yeah.
Because it seems easy to get tongue-tied, but you...
I get tongue-tied just talking normally. But once you learn the lyrics and stuff,
It's not a problem.
no, it's easy.
So I said in the intro that something you have in common with Woody Allen, which could seem creepy maybe, depending on what you're talking about. But I was saying Woody Allen and Les Paul, and both of those, obviously Les Paul doesn't anymore, but he would have a residency be at Iridium in New York on Monday nights, and Woody Allen is at the Carlisle, I think, playing clarinets on Monday night, and you do the same thing in Austin, right?
I do. I've been doing a residency at the Saxon Club in Austin every Monday night since '98, so 17 years.
Wow. So what like Woody Allen, you're not allowed to make eye contact with him, and he doesn't talk to anybody, and he just gets off
Yeah,
the
that
stage.
we do the exact same thing at the Saxon. Yeah.
No, what happens? I imagine that's got to be pretty fun, or now at this point is it getting like, what am I doing?
No, it's one of my favorite gigs. We kind of use it as a rehearsal, and
and also to like go back and play some old songs that we haven't played in a while. So if you go expecting to hear stuff on the albums, you won't hear that there. So the shows, lots of time, I would say half the show, I haven't heard that music played with the band that I'm playing with now. So I'm kind of hearing it for the first time. It's almost like being an audience member at my own show. And sometimes that's great, and sometimes it's, gets a little rocky, because we've never done it before. But they're fun, and we're actually, we're live streaming those now, so if you're not doing anything on Monday night, you can go to the bobschneider.com, and there's a live stream every Monday night of the show, and then you can watch it anytime after that as well.
That's cool.
So
is it like, here's Bob, like what's the scene? I mean, I guess I'll have to watch on Monday, but do you just kind of come up, it's just like...
Yeah, I mean, we start at 8:30. I usually get there at 8:30 and just walk on stage. We're sitting down, it's real casual, and it can really go off the tracks. And people pay us a lot of money to do covers of my songs. So occasionally we'll do something that somebody wants, like somebody might request that song 40 Dogs that I just played, but they'll have to pay me a lot of money to do it. And then we'll end up doing like a reggae version of it, or a spoken word or something weird.
So do you have like, is Gus always there? Like, are there some regulars that are like, or is it more of a tourist attraction?
No, there's a whole group of regulars that come. There's these two guys that have been coming they just celebrated their 10th year of coming every Monday night that we played there for 10 years.
Really? How much did you charge them for that celebration?
Oh no, there wasn't a celebration. It was more like a funeral. It's like a wake. Like, sorry, man. Sorry to have put you through this for 10 years.
Wow, well, that's really cool. So, and how long are those shows then?
2 hours, 8:30 to 10:30.
Wow. And did you do? I saw a blurb of you did a 12-hour show. What was that? Is that true?
I did. Well, I heard that the longest show that anybody had done was 24 hours, and I was like, oh, I can do that. But then when I looked into it, it turned out it was 36 hours. And then I looked into it some more, and it turned out to be like 48 hours. Some German piano player had played for 48 hours. I was like, I'm not doing that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But then I was like, well, I could do 24 hours of all original songs without repeating any for 24 hours. And so I contacted Guinness, Book of World Records, to see if, that could be a world record. And they were like, well, we can't authenticate that the songs are original, so we're not going to do it. So then I was like, well, I'm not going to play for 24 hours if I'm not going to get a record. And then I was like, well, let me just try 12 hours, because it's longer than any time any of my friends who have done long shows have done. So I did it, and it was awful. It was really a gruelingly long show.
Yes.
And I don't think I'd ever do it again.
Were you by yourself, or you had?
Yeah, it was just solo, and it was all all originals, and it was I'm getting excited now thinking about my own show.
Yeah.
I will say it was a lot of. I played a lot of songs, but I have so many songs that I don't think there was a lot of filler in the 12 hours. So
That's amazing, because I would think you'd be scraping. No, I don't mean to say
No,
that way, but near the end, you're like scraping the
right.
bottom
You
of the
think
barrel.
you'd be playing like some horrible songs, but when I was making the set list, I realized if I just played all original songs nonstop, I could play for 6.5 days. So out of those 6.5 days worth of material, I only had to scrape 12 hours together.
And you took some breaks, right?
I took a break every 2 hours for 10 minutes.
Holy cow! Did you do it? Where did you do it?
I did it at the Saxophone.
Okay. They must really like you.
They do. And it's weird because I thought I was going to get real tired and worn out, but the opposite happened. I actually started getting all this adrenaline, and so by the third show I thought I was going to have like a nervous breakdown because I was so amped up. But then eventually the exhaustion kind of kicked in, and
that was that.
And then I felt like a prisoner of war. It was awful. It was true. I felt real horrible.
So your shows, you have two, what's it called? Is it Frunk is like the recordings of your
Yeah,
shows?
we've been recording all the live shows for quite some time, and we have a huge archive of them online. If you go to bobschneider.com, you can get old shows from years and years ago.
But then there was one that was called I Can't Believe I Said That.
Well, we just launched this thing where I'd say a lot of stuff during shows.
Yeah.
I don't really tell stories. It's more just off the cuff sort of things. So occasionally, like a blind squirrel looking for food in the forest, occasionally I will come up with a morsel of something, and so we tried to enlist, the fans and stuff to send us their favorite sort of asides and stuff, and we're going to compile
So
that.
that's good. You don't have to listen through it all. You're kind of having them do it.
Oh yeah, it would be awful to have to listen to. I mean, literally tens of thousands of hours of live shows.
Wow. So this never, obviously you love it. I mean, you love this. You
I
can't
do.
imagine doing anything else.
I do. I would do it. I would do it for sure if I wasn't getting paid. I do feel that this is the best job you could possibly have. So I feel very fortunate.
I don't know if they told you you're not getting paid for this.
Oh man, I gotta go.
But before you go, we do have time for one more song.
Okay.
So, do you know what you want to do?
Sure. I'll do another song from the record.
It's Bob Schneider live from Studio Line.
Don't need no candy, I don't need no drugs, I don't need no riches, just kisses and hugs. Don't need no promises, which can I keep? Just take your heart and shell it, throw it out into the deep. Let's make love that'll last forever. Make a world, we'll make believe we can do what they say can't be done. Go riding off into the sun. No need to tell me about the dead. No need to figure out this world inside my head. No need to worry about the endless blue. No need to tell you I know your heart knows exactly what to do. Let's make love that'll last forever. Make a world, we'll make believe we can do what they say can't be done. Go riding off into the sun. It's been a hopeless mess. They say you learn, but I know less now than I knew before. But I adore the way that there in the distance by the fire, made from the pretty corpses of the liars. So let's make love that lasts forever. Make a world, I'll make believe we can do what they say can't be done. Set free the prisoners of the past. Throw away our guns, turn our eyes up to the sky above. Watch the colors run. Go riding off into the sun.